Hello. So today I want to take a little bit of time to testify of the goodness of God. So the topic of this testimony is your diagnosis doesn't have to dictate your fate. So about 3, 4 years ago, I think it was closer to 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes. Yes, I was like, oh my God. And I was in denial for a long time. I didn't want that label. What happened was for days, I was really weak, couldn't put one foot before the other, didn't understand what was going on. But one day, the agents kept bringing, my agents on my team kept bringing me something to pep me up, like something to drink. They brought me a Dr. Pepper. Later on in the day, they brought me a Pepsi, trying to help me make it through that work day because I was on that job as bad as I was feeling. So this particular day, I said, Tina, you gotta have sense. You gotta go to the doctor. Made a doctor's appointment, went to the doctor, called my mom on my way home from work because I was very weak, just so she'll know what's going on. And I got to the doctor's office, and who was there? My mom, my rider. She was right there. She looked at me like, oh my God, my baby is really sick. Because normally I don't get sick. And I have a high tolerance for pain. So it was not the norm. Got in the doctor's office, and the doctor was like, you look terrible, Martina. No, duh. I know I feel terrible. So she checked my vitals, checked my sugar. It was 683. I will never forget that number. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I had never had a problem with my sugar. So my thing is, what are we gonna do? I don't want to be on insulin. In the midst of fear, because I was scared, I'm just gonna be honest. But I did remember Jehovah Rapha, my healer. So my thing is, what's the plan? So it took a long time to get, probably took me about 2 weeks to get from 683 even down to 300. And then I found out later that I was dehydrated. So that's why I kept being thirsty. So I never forget it. My mom had retired and she had a banquet, and I had to be there for my mom. So one of my little bodyguards, my youngest son, Austin, he took me. And I couldn't stay but about 15 minutes, and I just had to go home. And during the banquet, my brother, God bless him, he said to me, you need to be home somewhere. You need to go to the hospital. People with diabetes, high levels of diabetes, and their readings high, they go blind. And I'm like, oh, I got mad because I didn't want to hear that. I'm like, no, I don't need to hear that. And he didn't mean any harm. And I know what he said was true, but I didn't want to hear that at that time. So, long story short, that night I went to the emergency room. Um, and they did have to give me insulin. And the insulin took it down to about 200. Still was too high, but it was better. Then I thought, that nasty slewfoot devil, you're going to be on insulin for the rest of your life. I had to rebuke that. So as soon as I got home, woke up the next day, I said, okay, things have got to change. I had a pinched nerve already that I was dealing with. So my balance was off and my walking was still a little hindered. However, what this girl did was, I said, diabetes is not going to have me. I might have it, but it will not have me. Because they say it's a chronic condition, and it is listed as a chronic condition. But no matter the condition, I got on a mission because I was determined not to allow this diagnosis to dictate my fate. So my mom and I started walking together. We've been walking together for years, still walking together every day, at least 5, 6 days a week. Sometimes I take a morning off and then I'll walk in the evening, doing whatever I have to do because I made a decision that this diagnosis was not going to dictate my fate. Your diagnosis does not dictate your fate. So I sit before you today. I have diabetes. They say I'll have it forever, but it does not have me. I walk, I eat better, I drink a gallon of water a day, and that helps with my lifeline. Now, my source is God. He is my true lifeline. But we have to make a decision in our lives that no matter what's told to us, no matter what's said, what the diagnosis is, that diagnosis will not dictate our fate. So you may have it. I've heard people say, don't claim it. Don't. My thing is, I had to be realistic. This is what they say, but it does not have to stay. So again, I sit before you today, a woman with diabetes, but diabetes does not have me. So no matter what comes your way, no matter the news, be determined in your heart and your mind. Have drive, determination, and commitment that this diagnosis will not dictate your fate. Live and live life abundantly. Have a great day.